how is life in Switzerland, Susanne?
Work in Switzerland is very nice. At the moment, we still have an Indian summer. It's really warm and nice, and we are enjoying the last days of great weather before the fall starts.
Exactly. I have heard there's a great storm in Greece at the moment, but I hope it's not gonna hit any north, so it would hit us, but I think we're gonna have signs of it. And Joey, welcome too.
Thank you very much, Titta. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for having me. Sitting in sunny France again, like you, enjoying some end of season summer. It's beautiful.
Exactly. And thank you very much for coming. There's Sarrah is here too, so Sarah's been co-hosting the day with me. And we have been very successful with the day. No glitches, no clacks. What, Sarrah? We've been doing fine, haven't we?
We have indeed. We're everybody has been on time, which has been, so thank you both as well. We were having contingency plans should people have an emergency, but no, we've been very lucky that people have been on time and happy to discuss, and we've had some really great conversations so far today, haven't we? So we should actually, for the listeners who are on Superyacht Radio, so we're not only broadcasting on our Zoom today, we are live on Superyacht Radio. So for those listeners on Superyacht Radio, should we briefly introduce our new guests and explain what it is that you do, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty of the conversation, if that's okay with everyone.
Okay, so I can start, and I can just first of all tell that we are talking about the education and future education of the hospitality side of the yacht crew, which of course means most of the interior crew. Why not also the exterior crew partly? But Joey can then fill me in on that. What happened was when we first started to think about life after yachting and what people could do, we of course came up with the very traditional ideas of career advice for crew, financial advice for crew, new jobs, land-based, yachting-based, and also other hospitality things. And when we thought this more in depth and also spoke to the crew, so it came very clear that also people came from very different backgrounds and very different kind of educational backgrounds. And as we all know, so the yachting career is between 7 and 10 years. So we quite often see a career before yachting and career after yachting. And this is where we targeted then contacting first Susanne at Les Roches in Switzerland, and then starting the discussion with her. And then I also on the same time started to talk to Joey, who is in charge of the yachting qualifications. And then finally we put these two fantastic ladies together, and they have been starting the project and thinking about the collaboration between yachting and the well-known Les Roches hospitality school in Switzerland. And so I could first, Susanne, give you the opportunity to tell about the school and the background and what in your opinion would be the possibilities for the yacht crew at your hospitality school.
Sure, thank you very much, Titta, and nice to meet you, Sarrah. My name is Susanne Welle, and I'm Dean of the Undergraduate Programs here at Les Roches Crans-Montana. Now, Les Roches is one of the world's leading hotel management schools. We're number 3 worldwide, we have 3 locations. One is here in Crans-Montana in Switzerland, one is in Marbella, and one is in Shanghai in China. Now we are having different programs, and what I will present to you afterwards is our postgraduate programs, which is basically for more mature students, students with some working backgrounds, students who have already maybe had a career behind them but want to change. On our campus here in Grand Montana, we're located in the mountains, so probably quite different from what the audience are used to. We are in Grand Montana. We're a bit outside Grand Montana. Grand Montana is a ski resort. It's a quite chic ski resort, and we are in Bluche, which is about 10 minutes by car from the city center. The campus itself has 21 buildings. We have great sport facilities. We have around 1,000 students on campus, 100 different nationalities, and a lot of activities also, extracurricular activities such as wine club, culinary club, different sport clubs, photography club, art clubs, etc. So what we have as a program, do you want me to share some slides?
Yes, you can if you want. Yes, please.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so let me share some slides here with you. Can you see them?
Yes, we can see our program.
Very good. So the program that we have is a postgraduate diploma in international hospitality management, or if there are interested people who doesn't have a bachelor already, we have a professional development diploma. Now the program here is the same, however the exit degree is different based on whether you have a bachelor or not. The duration of this program is 2 semesters, but what makes it quite interesting is that if you already have work experience, you might be exempted from the internship of 6 months. And you might also be exempted if you have experience from a hospitality related industry, which could be kitchen, service, hostess, reception, etc. You could also be exempted from this hospitality immersion program. So in that case, it would be 1 semester. In this semester, there is also a business field trip to Dubai that we do, as long as travel allows it. This year we had to do a business trip in Switzerland, but we're still visiting a lot of interesting industries and hotels, etc. Then if the students are exempted from the internship, they will not have to do these 6 months of internship, but they will have to write a report because there are quite many academic credits linked to this internship. So then you have to write a report where you link the theory that you have learned about in the first semester with your work experience. And then after that, you will obtain, upon successful completion, obviously, a postgraduate diploma or a PDD, professional development diploma. What really makes this a door opener for somebody who's changing their career is that by successful completion of this, you have the opportunity to apply to the 2nd year of our MBA program. So you can go on, you can study for 1 more semester, and then you can have a Master of Business Administration. So just to show a little bit more of details what the programs are, you have the hospitality immersion program. So here you can see we talk about hospitality in context, we talk about food and beverage operation management and room division operation management. So if you do have similar experience to that, you would not have to do these, but you could be exempted from these. And then in semester 1, you will then have different courses about leadership, about finance, about revenue management, about marketing, organizational behavior, facility events, and innovation for 6 months. this would give the students 19 credits. Then they would have, they would not have to do the internship. They would just have to do the research and reflection part here, which is 8 credits, a report, and then they could apply for the Master of Business Administration grade. So this is degree. This is a fast track that we have really seen being a success for especially mature students with some work experience.
It looks fantastic. It really makes it worthwhile for the students. It's so basically, if you are a good student with a good background from the yachting industry, in 1 year you could basically complete your MBA.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
For me, it took many more years. Maybe I wasn't that great. Maybe that was the reason. Well, okay, that's really great. And then, if I may, I introduce Joey. So Joey is in charge of GUEST program in yachting industry. I don't think that anybody else in the yachting industry specific people know what GUEST is all about, but I let you explain in a minute, Joey, and how this is credited in Les Roches is then something what the ladies are discussing at the moment, and we are doing a project. And then that of course opens also ideas for other industries that we're gonna start looking, and we are already discussing with other industries how the other qualifications in the yachting industry could be validated. But let's talk about the hospitality side now. So over to you, Joey, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Titta, and thank you, Susan. I have to say, if I was a few decades younger, I'd be jumping at the chance to come over to you guys. It sounds amazing. Yes, my name's Joey. I've been working with the Interior Training and Hospitality certification platform for, goodness me, since 2008. The umbrella association that accredits the training program for interior for our industry is the International Association of Maritime Institutions, and I'm the director of the GUEST program under their umbrella, and I'm also on the board of directors and part of the maritime hospitality subgroup, which basically covers hospitality and service training for all maritime sectors. But with my guest hat on today, with the superyacht sector and the collaboration opportunities that hopefully we're going to have for the future to offer those incredibly talented and hardworking and experienced crew from our sector, the tools and hopefully the enthusiasm to move from working on board to other opportunities within hospitality. And that's always been the objective of the GUEST program. When we started writing this in 2008, the second point on our objectives of the blank piece of paper we started with was absolutely how do we use and transfer the skill sets that will be gained from training and experience. And this was a really important part of the whole progression of how we developed this program. So I'm absolutely delighted, albeit more than a decade later, to be sitting here and having this conversation, having the opportunity to enhance people's careers and encourage something a little bit more than just coming off the yacht with nobody recognizing the talents and skills and work that has been obtained through the onboard life and the career path that, as Titta pointed out, is often quite short. So yeah, we're thrilled as an association to be part of this, and personally as someone that's been driving this program for this long. We have training providers worldwide offering various different levels of the courses. The cohorts that have attended have certainly gained. The introduction course, I think, is one of the most prevalent, in as much as so many crew gain so much confidence, and employers can gain a huge amount of confidence from the skills that they learn just in the 5 days. And it's an awareness course, you know, as what to expect when you work on board. So many people come into this industry with so many different ideas. You know, even people on the introduction course in various countries have done their 5 days and at the end gone, actually, this is nothing what I thought it was going to be. And, you know, I love what I've learned, but I'm not actually going to take up yachting, which in some ways you look at and think that's a shame, but in the long run, that's saving the yacht having big crew turnovers. You know, crew agencies are always having to replace usually junior crew over the period of a summer quite a few times. So I think this means that the heads of department putting in the energy to mentor and teach is given to somebody that's clearly got ambition, clearly interested in self-development. So we're very proud of the students that have done the courses. Those that have done the advanced courses, to follow up from where Susanne was talking just now about coming into some of the postgrad programs, we're excited to be investigating, and we've got a little way to go before we can announce anything big, but we're looking at the possibility of those that have done the advanced guest program to have some exemption from the hospitality immersion program, and obviously the work experience on board, subject to what that's been, to hopefully form part of the internship and the report that needs to be written. So that could go some way towards the experience requirements. And I think this is a really important point, that there is an opportunity here that within a year or over a year, I think Susanne will probably correct me, that you could come out with something, you know, a very substantial and recognized qualification through this route. So I'm delighted that this is happening, and I really hope that the crew out there can embrace this this opportunity, because I think it's the first time we've been able to get this far with our sector. I've been in this industry 30 years, and I'm delighted to see us growing up and getting more professional at last.
I think we've been, as long as I know you, Joey, so we've been talking about this. So yeah, I'm very delighted too. And how could this actually work in practice? So for the crew applying for Les Roches, for example, I know that you also have now company profiles on our platform, so the crew can get in contact with you directly from there, both of you. But also, if you want to, Susanne, tell us a bit about your process of getting into Russia. You have, Susanne, muted yourself?
Yes, yeah. I just realized I was muted. So in order to apply to Les Roches, there is a process, and for every area worldwide, we have area coordinators or educational counselors. So by contacting me, I could guide the persons to the right counselors, who will then look at exactly the necessary documents, etc. But even before that, what I think would be very important would be to have a personal discussion with the Dean of Graduate Programs, Mr. Dimitrios Diamantis, Dr. Dimitrios Diamantis, because he will be able to really see, do you have the motivation, do you have the skills, do you have what it takes for this program before you start a long, not necessarily long, but before you start the application process. So I would say that would be the best way to go forward. The ones who are interested, they could, of course, either go on the Les Roches website, fill in documentation there, and then get automatically contacted by an educational counselor, or they could write to me. I would contact Dr. Diamantis for then individual follow-up.
And I think Mr. Diamantis is also on the app, so there's a 15-minute meeting request you can do with him. And he said this week, I believe he's not around, but from next week onwards, so he would be available for those calls. So
exactly. Yeah, he's on a study trip this week, so unfortunately he could not join us.
Okay, exactly. So Joey, so how is you are developing another course? Was that correct? I believe we talked about something new development in the guests.
We've developed a PERSA program that was launched actually a couple of weeks ago. So I'm very proud of this program. It's taken a huge amount of work to put together. It's been developed with 3 training providers and also a lot of other input from various professionals in their particular fields. And it's pretty robust. We've actually, since it's been launched, we've had a huge amount of candidates signing up, including, in fact, captains and chief officers as well, because the syllabus is very relevant to some of their roles as well on board, so maybe some of the smaller yachts. So it's already, even in the last few weeks, it's gained traction of encouraging certainly various heads of department to be looking at the training. But for the PERSAs themselves, I think this gives a huge leg up into that role. It's a 180-hour course. It's pretty much done virtually, so it's an online training program with a lot of one-to-one and face-to-face learning platforms within that, as well as various self-study and webinars and group chats. So it's quite comprehensive. But yeah, we're very proud to be introducing that. It's something we've worked on for quite some time, as I say, and I think with the growing number of yachts over 70 meters coming into the industry, and also perhaps the trend of more rotational crew, there's certainly been a much bigger demand for onboard PERSAs in recent years. So it's a good timing, I think.
Yeah, and I think also was thinking about the online learning, which is close to my heart, and I think to everybody's at the moment, as we are restricted now traveling and meeting each other. So also I believe Les Roches has some online courses.
We do have some remote courses.
Mm-hmm.
But we do prefer to get the students to the campus and do the real experience. So what we actually do is that we invite the students to come 2 weeks early so that they can do the quarantine here with us if they come from countries where they have to do quarantine. And then afterwards they're integrated in the face-to-face courses. But of course, if this is not possible, then they can join remotely. And for this October, for example, we have a special kind of it's not a try and hire, but a tryout for the postgraduate program that you can join online for 6 weeks. And if you realize that this is not what you're looking for, but that you want the face-to-face, you can stop, and then you can integrate in March in our next intake without any additional cost on campus. So it's a way for anybody, even now, you know, for many students now in the middle of September, it would be too short to apply for visas, etc., to get to the campus. But you have the opportunity to start online, and then if it's not your thing, you could always wait until March.
Do you also have courses that the crew could do while they are still working on the yachts, on that transition period?
No, well, not necessarily online, no. What the campus in Marbella has is that they have an executive master where you would need to do some weeks on the campus in Marbella, and then afterwards there is remote learning to follow up. But that would be at master level, so you would need to do the PGD program first.
Okay, yeah, because that's of course something I was thinking about already for some students who have, for example, rotational jobs, which is coming for more for the interior too, and have more time to do it. So did you, Joey, have something for that?
Well, we do. We launched during with the unfortunate situation of the pandemic. We found a lot of crew were asking us about studying online, so we quickly put together an online a blended learning directive under IAMI, and it's been very, very successful. Most of the training providers now have started offering that, and we're actually going to take that forward now, even after hopefully when this eventually stops or comes back to some kind of normality. We do require some of the practical elements in various units to have workshop and practical assessment, because that is the nature of that particular subject. But many of the subjects can be done online. Many of the subjects can be done online with a later date put in place for the practical workshop and assessment. So it's actually been very successful. And strangely, our certificate and the student numbers have actually gone up this time last year versus, you know, last year to now. It's quite incredible. So we're very happy that that's the case, and the feedback from the crew have been amazing. You know, they have a lot of them have been stuck on board boats or in various places, and it's given them a really good focus. So it's great.
Exactly, and that was of course my idea with the future studies too, that you could actually get ready maybe do partly already while you're working. So maybe it is something to think about. It is a great development, and I'm really looking forward to for the first students to apply and have the meetings with Dimitrios online, and to have his feedback also, that what he thinks about, because he hasn't been involved or he isn't involved in our discussion now. So we're also going to hear his feedback once that things develop. But the next course is starting in October. Was that correct, Susanne?
Yes. The 12th of October is our next intake.
Okay. And you applying for those courses when? Is now the time, or has it already?
Well, if there is not an issue of visa, we still accept participants. But the HIP course, the hospitality immersion course, starts already with an intake next Thursday. So it could be difficult to arrive and do the hospitality immersion program, but as Joy said, the objective is to maybe be exempted from this course, and then the arrival time would be around the 10th of October. So there would still be time to do it, even though it would be a bit short.
And then the following one is in March.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So maybe that's a better target, so everybody gets to talk to each other and things. And I believe that you continue the talks in between. You don't need me anymore there. I was just to introduce you in between you two, and I'm so happy that we are this far, and we're gonna definitely have a celebration when we have the first student in, and we can see that it's actually working, and we can provide a real educational path out of yachting and to the real world, like Sarrah calls it. Yachting is no real world. Out of the bubble or out of the golden handcuffs. But of course, it is a transition. Is a big thing for the crew, as hospitality-based jobs are not that well paid on land than what they are used to on board. And also, I think it's going to be about lots of valuable information from our other experts, from career advisors and financial advisors, how to actually manage your life shore-based. So that's also one point in this discussion. Did you have, Sarrah, any questions? Like you haven't been in this discussion, and I know that it's something new, kind of new for you.
It's it's been really interesting. I think it's the quietest I've been all day, and that's a compliment, because it was an interesting topic to listen to as well. I mean, I'm very familiar with the GUEST program. I think Joey's done fantastic work within the industry to, you know, give us a standard and provide really comprehensive training that is useful, and, you know, the ship's value and the crew themselves value that training. So I'm really excited about this journey now, and looking at how we can have those qualifications recognized and valued for the crew in a life after yachting, and not necessarily outside of the yachting industry. You know, there are jobs within yachting that are shore-based as well. This is not necessarily about making a sharp and permanent exit from yachting completely, but just to to support the crew that have supported us all the time, and to give them all of the opportunities that are available to them. I think my only question is, and it's to be quite interesting, is I see this education path as being a two-way street, to put it in a better phrase than that. But it would be quite interesting to have students that have perhaps done qualifications in hospitality schools, such as Susanne's, coming into the industry and then sort of honing their knowledge with some guest courses. So I think, you know, is that something that you two are discussing? Because I think that would be a valuable part of this, is to kind of have the students working back and forth between you both.
It is. Yes, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Susan, because it's they're probably starting with you and finishing with us. So
well, you know, our students, they will get a very global education that can be used in many different industries, but also, of course, in the Superyacht industry, in the yachting industry. But we have every semester, we have a recruitment forum, a recruitment day, where all kind of companies comes to recruit students, either for internships or for placement. So that could be an opportunity. We also work with several platforms where, if there are job openings, students can look for their internships, which could be very interesting. I think for many students it could be an amazing experience to spend 6 months on a yacht.
I completely agree, and I think that the knowledge and learning that they'll get from you will bring value to them as green crew, and I really feel this exchange of knowledge is such a worthwhile partnership to investigate. Yes, Joey, do tell us about your thoughts on that, with the sort of crew coming back in as well as crew leaving.
Exactly. No, I think it would be fabulous. You know, I think anyone that's coming into the industry with a passion for hospitality and service, somebody that's coming in looking to, you know, enhance their career path through having had formal education prior to coming in. You know, what a wonderful opportunity to come and have something a little bit different, that it can only enhance what you want to do later down the line, coming from one or the other. I mean, the GUEST program was always written yacht specific. That's why it's short modules. It had to be short modules because our industry works that way. You know, crew have to usually pay for themselves. They're taking their own holiday. Same as the deck and the tech education platforms in our sector. It's no different. You know, if it was commercial shipping or commercial yacht, commercial or maritime sectors, you've got big companies paying for you know, with big training budgets and time off specifically for that, onboard training officers, etc. We don't have that. So our training was always about supporting, it is underpinning to the job on board. We have the training record book that a lot of the crew take on, and they can do that through onboard mentoring. So I think anyone coming from, for example, Susanne's training facilities with qualifications into our sector, I think they would, you know, they'd be embraced within the industry for what they've learned, and they could always top up any of the yacht specific elements through the guest training. And for sure, I think with any collaboration we have with them, for sure there would be opportunities through our training providers to assist those particular students coming in, to give them the support that they need as well, because it's a very different world coming into our industry from a land-based hospitality sector, with expectations in environment and living environments as well. So
yeah, I think the beauty of this is really that it's a win-win situation for both. It's not that we are taking the crew out of the yachting industry. We are also getting, hopefully, students from your school with a very good background already to do the yacht specific courses, and that's why I think it's very kind of a goodwill program, if I would say so. So it's just really, we are keeping the crew's best interest in our mind, and also we need lots of hospitality experts in the yachting industry, as well as we have people leaving. So So it's not away from anybody as this collaboration goes forward.
Absolutely, and I think that's the thing to remember here. It's all about supporting the individuals that are either working on board now and wanting to move on later on, or those coming into the industry. And my personal passion has always been about looking after individual yacht crew. I'm still, even all these years later, in awe of what they do, and you know, any support or help that I can offer. And I've always been part of associations, so it's always been not for profit. And I think that's something that has always been very important to me, to make sure that this is not money driven, it's not financially driven, this is actually about quality and support. And that's been the most important part of the GUEST program, for sure.
Exactly. I think we have our next speaker coming, so I think we need to wrap up. And thank you both for fantastic discussion and the good work you have done and what you have started the route for the crew. And we are looking forward to hearing more. And as I said, we want to see the first student going to Les Roches, and also vice versa, them coming over here and giving your extensive knowledge to us.
Very nice. Thank you very much for your invitation and for this webinar. It's been a joy to participate.
Thank you very much.
Likewise, thank you very much, ladies, and well done, and congratulations for this this forum. I'm very happy to be part of it, and we support you all the way.
Thank you very much for both of you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.